was at the park the other day with my niece, and this has been happening since I was 16 years old, basically. 17 when I first 16 is when I got my first job as a lifeguard. And all the kids would always gravitate towards me because I would always play games with them, and it was fun. Like, I'm sitting around doing nothing. I'd rather play sharks and minnows or throw a ball around, play tag, whatever it is, and just have fun and pass the time versus just sitting up there and I'm mad, I'm angry, because that's what so many people do. And we were on this little merry-go-round thing, and I was starting to push my niece, and the next thing you know, there's like 15 kids on it, and I'm pushing all of them. And then they're helping me, and they're telling me what grade they're going to be in, and their names, and everything like that. And then we played tag and hide and seek, and I could not hide to save my life because I had 4 or 5 young men following me around constantly wanting to hide with me, so it made it impossible to hide. But whatever. It was fun, and they enjoyed themselves, so. But there was one young man who was, he was incredible. He called himself Sonic. He was so cool. He was so tough. He'd fall down and jump right back up. I'm fine. And just start playing and going crazy. And I was like, oh, I love that. Oh, I love the toughness. And his mom was around, of course, and he had a younger sister who was, his mom was more, like, had to take care of more, and he was just running around having fun. And as they were leaving, she came up to me, and she said something, and it really got me thinking. And she said that it's so awesome that you've remained a child at heart. I'm like, And it's like, son of a bitch. I guess that's why for the last couple of decades these kids have gravitated towards me. I've talked about working in a middle school, elementary school, high school, and the kids were always just gravitating towards me. And it constantly. And I have an ability that I didn't know was rare because my dad did it effortlessly for my whole life. And that is, he can play with me and my sister. We could have fun with him, but if we messed up, he was the disciplinarian. And I just thought that was a normal thing. I just thought that's what people did. Like, if somebody had fun and stuff, they could still discipline and just go on with their lives and then play and then just... I just thought that was a thing. And when I was 21 years old, I figured out not everyone can do that. I got called to the clubhouse, and basically they got on to me that people couldn't be like me. The other lifeguards aren't as good as you. They can't do what you do. Tell them to be more like you. Like, it was like 30 minutes of that. It was really weird and annoying. And I find that people can't do this sad. Because I went and talked to the other lifeguards. Like, what are you doing? Tell them to walk. It's against the rules to run. Tell them to walk. And they didn't want to say it to the kids that they played with that they thought that liked them. Because they thought that kid wouldn't like them anymore. And that made me chuckle. And they asked, why are you laughing at that? Because I told them, that's going to make the kids like you more. It's very, very, very easy to let someone do whatever they want. It takes no effort. Telling someone they're doing something wrong, disciplining them, holding them accountable, takes effort. Kids see that. Kids see the effort. that it takes for you to constantly get on them if they're doing something wrong. They see that. They respect that. And there was a little girl at the park that I was talking about where the woman said, "It's nice that I've remained a child at heart." And when I was on the Ferris wheel, yeah, merry-go-round, whatever you spin, merry-go-round for the kids, and she would get in my face and be like, "Now, faster!" And so in the beginning, I was like, "Please," to her. Well, she wasn't getting it, so she would say, "Now!" And I'd be like, "Please!" And I would match her intensity. And most people wouldn't do that because they're like, "Oh no, she's not going to like me anymore." Who cares if kids like you? It's so pathetic and needy and insecure and annoying that people want kids to like them so much. It's weird to me. Because if those 12 to 15 kids wouldn't have came over, wouldn't have been all over me, my life would have been so much easier, so much less running, so much less effort. And I don't think people realize that. When I was at the middle school, these women would come up to me and be like, "Josh has a number one now. You're not his favorite anymore." I'm like, "Good, maybe you'll leave me alone." And these women would come up, different women would come up, and that's what I would say every time. "Good, maybe I'll get a time to myself a little bit." And they were shocked that I wasn't, "Well, I want their attention." Because they all want their attention. Because apparently their attention makes you feel better about yourself. Again, I think that's why the kids gravitate towards me. Because I don't need their attention to validate me. I simply want to have fun. Let's have fun. Enjoy life. Because that's most kids. If you have fun with them, they're going to like you. But another thing that does happen, and I had to stop it, there was this girl, she was kindergarten, about ready to be in first grade. She told me that several times. And we were playing hide and seek, and I got found, and then so it was that girl that was doing the seeking, and so I was like, "Did you find everyone?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, let's go find them." So she kept, like, she touched my arm and like go down and try to like hold my hand, and I pulled it away, and then I just was walking again, my arm down to my side, and then she like touched again, and I pulled it away, and then she stopped. And that's another thing that scares me with adults that need kids' attention. Because I don't want her to touch me. If my niece came over and wanted to hold my hand, fine. I have a relationship with her. I don't want the hottest chick on the planet. I don't want her to come over and hold my hand. Like, that's just weird. I'm not a huge touch person. It's just awkward to me. Why does everyone want to touch? And so that's another good lesson. She was in a safe place because her grandma was there. She probably didn't see that because we were pretty far away at that time and obstructions. But I was like, she shouldn't think that she should be able to hold my hand with, I am a stranger. She'd known me for an hour. Stranger. She had no idea anything about me. I knew way more about her because kids are way more forthcoming. You shouldn't go up as a 5-year-old, going to be 6. Oh, no, she was 6. Yeah, she was going to be in first grade, so she was 6 years old. And hold their hand. And again, that's another lesson. If I'm needy and insecure, I'm going to reward myself by holding her hand and getting attention from her. And then, now she thinks anyone who acts pleasant, who's playful, who brings her joy, to go up and hold their hand. No, she should not do that. And so it was because I am who I am, it was a good learning opportunity for her so she didn't just hold my hand. Because if I would have let her hold my hand, then she's like, oh, I can do this to others. I don't want her to do that to others. I don't want her to do that to me. I want her to be safe and not have an adult take advantage of her because they're needy and pathetic. And my last point, I say millennials, which I am one, are the absolute worst parents since the dawn of parents. Because they talk about, for some reason, kids are friends to the parents, and then their animals are their kids. Weird. Very weird. Sad and weird. But if you're like, they're my friend, my kid's my friend, if they're your I think that's just a cop out for laziness, personally. Because what I said before, it's easy to let someone do whatever they want. And friends kind of let you do what you want, and it's not their job to discipline you and tell you you're wrong and stuff like that. You do something wrong, they laugh at you. That's what I did. And that's what friends did to me. You mess up, and they're like, idiot! And you all laugh, and you move on. And generally you do it again because you're an idiot. But actually guiding someone through life, helping them become an adult, whether a man, woman, whatever, helping guide someone to become an adult, disciplining them, that's hard. That takes energy. It takes patience. And I only think parents are going to get worse because this world is becoming more and more comfortable for us. And when things are more comfortable, when something is just a little bit difficult, it's way more difficult. Because if things are super hard and then something is just a little bit easier, but it's actually really hard for someone, that's easy for you because of perception. So I've talked about it before. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. It'll help you. It'll help you be a better parent, a better brother, better sister, better grandparent, better uncle, better aunt, better friend, better stranger. And sound like a broken record. But God can help you with all that. Especially that patience. This world is so hard to have patience with. People, I guess it appears, whether they are more selfish or not, depending on your perspective. But it feels like people are so much, like the world revolves around them. And anything that's not them, that comes in contact with their world, how dare you? Even if they're in the middle of the street. Even if they're driving their car on a public road, how dare you not allow them to go as slow as they want, as fast as they want, be in any lane they want, to ignore whatever they want, to make up rules whenever they want. Like, how dare you? And God can help you have patience with them. I know He's helped me. I have so much more patience than I did 3 years ago. So if you humble yourself, He can work wonders. Just give Him an opportunity.